K6COZ, check.
I've got you loud and clear, Tom.
Sounds good, Tom. Thank you. I was on D-Star, K6COZ. Thank you.
JV. I'm in on my HD. I don't know which Papa this is, though. It says Whiskey Bravo 6, Yankee Echo Sierra. I think it might be.
We've got a net starting in about 30 seconds, so please stand by. All right, Papa System. From the Mexican border in San Diego to San Luis Obispo, from the Channel Islands to Las Vegas, Nevada, and around the world via the internet, you're listening to the Papa System's most unique net, the Saturday Night Roundtable, on the fastest growing system in Southern California. My name here is Darren, and my call sign is WD6USN, and I'll be your net controller for tonight, so please direct all transmissions to me. We call this the Saturday Night Roundtable because it's formatted as a roundtable discussion. You can check in and we'll have discussions about various subjects, and you're welcome to recheck and come back if you have additional comments once everyone has had a chance to check in. Please note that emergency traffic may come at any time. So, with that said, let me pause for any emergency or priority traffic. If anybody has any emergency traffic, please come now. All right, hearing none. If you're a visitor to the Papa System tonight, I invite you to go to papasys.com and register as a guest. With your guest registration, you'll be granted 45 days of free access to the Papa System. At the end of this complimentary, one-time 45-day guest access period, we ask that you become a subscribed member to continue to use the Papa System. With that said, amateurs are always welcome to participate in weekly Papa System nets regardless of membership status. All right, we had a great luncheon down in San Diego today. Got to see many folks. Got to put some new faces to call signs, so that's always a good time. And you can never beat the food down there at Casino del Charro. So, with that said, we've got a whole new week's worth of announcements. So please stand by while I reset real quick and play the announcements for this upcoming week.
Here are the Papa System weekly announcements. The Papa Orange County Luncheon. Papa will be meeting in person on April 26th at 11:30 a.m. at the Sizzler in Fullerton. Ham license testing at 10 a.m. Register in advance for testing and the luncheon. Papa Quick Start Program. In conjunction with our test sessions, Papa has a quick start program to help get all newly licensed technicians a pre-programmed UHF handheld radio at no cost to you if you sign up for the program. Our quick start program is designed to get you on the air as soon as your new FCC license arrives and help you understand how to use a radio on the Papa System to communicate with fellow hams. Check the Papa website for more information. Big Bear Mini Hamcation. Join us April 25th to 27th for the Big Bear Ham Escape, a fun-filled event for amateur radio enthusiasts. The event will take place at the Holiday Inn Resort, located on Village Drive in beautiful Big Bear Lake. Reservations are now open, so don't wait to claim your space. Please take a moment to read the Papa System, Smooth Operator Guide located at the right side of the home page on the Papa website. All this information, and a whole lot more, can be found on the Papa website at papasys.com. And don't forget to check your weekly Papa emails for the latest upcoming events, breakfasts, and luncheons.
Got a little trigger happy there on the push to talk. Sorry about that. Cut it off right there in the end. But I think everyone got the gist of the upcoming week. Lots going on in the Papa System, as is usual. And if you missed any of those, swing by the webpage, papasys.com. All the information is there for you to see. All right. With that said, let's see if Cecil is out there. WD6FZA, do you have anything for us tonight?
Absolutely. And you forgot. You were on a very exciting project and was a key person to make it happen. Why don't you, instead of me saying something about it, why don't you fill in the group on the other repeater that was planted? Back to you there. And I have nothing else other than to let you announce the latest edition of the Papa System repeaters. Go ahead. WD6FZA.
Well, thanks for that, Cecil. The tech team made its way up to Papa 38, and Papa 38, I'm happy to say, is up and alive. Hoping to hear some check-ins from it tonight. Hauser Peak overlooks the Antelope Valley and the Canyon Country and that kind of area. We've had a little bit of spotty coverage there, so Hauser Peak will fill in the gaps very well there. And I had the opportunity to climb the tower and do a full install, which I have not had the chance to do for Papa yet. Mainly my climbing has been repair work. So this was my first full install. I certainly found my limits. I ended up being up on the tower for about 4 hours, and my climb down was, my body was definitely telling me it was time to get off the tower. So still recovering. Forearms are nice and smoked, but it's all for a good cause, and I enjoy it. Most that know my line of work has been adrenaline filled, so I still get to get that, I get to scratch that itch, I guess, so to speak, when I'm up on the towers. So still learning a lot, and yesterday's endeavor was definitely a good learning experience for me, and I'll get faster and faster on these installs. But yeah, Papa 38 is alive, so that was a fun day, and don't blink, there might be some more coming. So can't let the cat out of the bag at all, though.
WD6 today.
And go ahead, Cecil.
Forgot the most important part. How are they going to check in if they don't know the frequency?
Very good. Yes, so I don't believe it's all published on the website yet. Usually it takes about a day or two to get all the information out there, but we have an easy way for you to find the information for Papa 38. If you look at the list of analog repeaters, Papa 23 is currently offline. That is Palos Verdes. We have a upgrade plan for Palos Verdes, so we are using the frequency and PL tone listed on Papa 23 for Papa 38. So if you want to update your code plugs and all your radios, you can steal that frequency and PL tone and add 38 into your radios. And if you're in that area, I hope to hear you checking in tonight. So give it back to you, Cecil, one last time just to double check I've covered all my bases. Got a lot running through here, so I don't want to miss anything.
Oh, that's it. Don't want to waste any more time. We gave the important news out. So have a great net. We'll all be listening, and have another great net. WD6FZA. Again, my thanks go out to the A-team. They've been really busy. And like Darren said, keep listening because there's a lot of exciting things happening on the Papa system here in the next probably 5 or 6 months. UD678, giving it back to net control.
All right, Cecil. Thanks for the updates, and thanks for letting me jump in there and give that announcement. So, all right. So let's get to what's going on right now. I see the live chats going. For those that are just joining us, we are running a live chat on YouTube alongside the net on the analog repeater system. If you want to be a part of both, you can. Just know there is some lag between the two. And how much lag really depends on your internet service provider and how well your Wi-Fi is running in the house. So just be aware of that. It still enables you to listen in to the commenters and add via chat. It's kind of a cool function, and you get to see me. I'm waving to the camera right now. You'll probably see it in about 10-15 seconds. My little ham shack here, and maybe at the end I'll give you a tour. I think after last week, people wanted to see how I'm making all this happen, and I'll be happy to oblige. No secrets here. What I'm doing is nothing more than some of these teenage kids are doing via their gaming platforms and Twitch. I'm just doing it and kind of adding it to network radio and amateur radio and making it work for us. So let me take a quick pause there, and I will let us know what we're talking about tonight. All right, for those that want to take a look at the YouTube channel, here is the address. Get ready to write it down. It's the @ Papa System, SNR. That's Sierra November Romeo, all one word. That'll get you to the channel, and there you will see the video that should say live. And I'm looking at the chat right now. Got lots of people talking in and saying hello to everybody. I see Jeff Jones out there. I see Logan, KD6LLB, Gary, Corey. Great for you guys jumping on the live stream. I look forward to interacting with you here as we start taking check-ins, and we get to see how the live stream gets to interact with the RF side of things. So, topic for tonight will be long-lost technologies, things that have gone by the wayside, whether it was that 8-track player or the DVDs that are kind of no one's using anymore. Now that we've moved to a streaming society, I want to hear those things that you miss, things that were a big part of your life maybe when you're growing up that don't exist anymore, payphones, things like that. And don't be afraid to throw out things that you can't live without nowadays. Technologies that have changed your life, whether it be this smart cell phone that we have in our pockets that has more computing power than the space shuttle had. Things that are rocketing us into the future. Both ends of the spectrum tonight. Things that have gone away and things that are changing your life. Those are what we're talking about tonight. Let me take a quick reset. I have one more fun thing that we're going to add into tonight. All right, and that fun thing's going to be, I've had a couple of recommendations for a joke net. Now, I don't know that I could make a good hour to an hour and a half net of a joke net, but I'm good at sliding things in, and much like we slid trivia in without making it just a trivia net, I'm going to open it up to check-ins to tell a joke at the end of their check-in. So, get your jokes ready. If you got to search the internet for a good one, by all means, go for it. I have one ready for me that I'll unleash later on tonight. And we'll have a little fun together, see if we can laugh. And that's what the Saturday Night Roundtable is all about, having a good time and laughing. So, I've got my drink. I hope you got your drink. I got Liquid Death. It's a water. It's a water-based drink, so nothing special here for me. I hope you've got your beverage of choice. I'm gonna reset here, and I'll begin taking some check-ins. So stand by. All right, let's unleash the hounds here. Let's break it down by Papas 1 through 10. We'll go analog first. Give me your call sign phonetically if you can, and your first name slowly. We'll try to avoid the pileups. If we get some, I'll work through it. and then we'll open it up for more. So 1 through 10, come now. All right, I have to do it. Nobody on 1 through 10. All right, how about 1 through 20? 1 through 20.
KK6HNG.
W2, Whiskey 7, Victor Yankee Zulu, Michael.
Kilo Echo 6, Mike Alpha Echo, Larry.
Kilo Oscar 6, Hotel Romeo, X-Ray, Gary, Papa 20.
All right, I definitely missed a few in there. I got Gary, Larry, and Michael in there, and Adrian. If you weren't one of those four, come back again.
Whiskey 2, Juliet, Papa Maine, John.
Derek on Papa 15.
All right, I got John, the Papa 15. Come back one more time.
Kilo Oscar 6, Echo Juliet Victor. This is Derek on Papa 15, third time's a charm.
All right, I got you on that one. All right, 1 through 20. Anyone else? All right, let's go 1 through 38. 1 through 38, come now.
K6DV.
Kilo Oscar 6, Hotel Romeo November.
All right, I got...
Whiskey 6, Charlie Juliet X-Ray, Bob and Camarillo.
All right, and let's open it up to internet now. Anyone, analog, I'm sorry, in Echo Link, All-Star, or any of the digital bridges, come now.
Kilo Foxtrot 4, Papa Quebec Hotel on Papa 24. Didn't get in before.
Kilo 6, Lima Mike Charlie, Carolyn.
All right, I think that's a...
Alpha Bravo 6, Mike Bravo.
All right, got you there, Jeff. I think that's a good first round. Let's hold it off there. We'll get the net rolling. And before I do, let's take a quick peek at the live stream chat. I'm seeing lots of people saying hello. Let's see. Old man members, Sony mini disc players. Yes, from Corey. I agree. The mini discs. And ZBM2 Industries. I got one of your antennas. Did I hear Hamcation is back on? You absolutely did. We will be there next weekend. I hope you'll be there. I'd like to buy a few more of your antennas. So, all right, live chat is running and everyone's talking. We'll pop back in with them shortly. Let's get to my first check-in. KK6HNG. Adrian, how are you, buddy? Welcome to the Saturday Night Roundtable.
Good evening, Darren, and everybody there on the net. This is Adrian, KK6HNG, and yeah, thank you for doing it. So, well, what's the subject? Technologies that I couldn't live without, and they are gone. So, well, there are several. I would start with a rotary phone, because I was a few years old when I had a rotary phone in the house. Then, let's say, black and white TV with a CRT on it, color TV with CRT on it. At that time, I was making a decent living repairing some of them. Then what? The VCR. Oh, yeah. In Eastern Europe, where you had 2 hours of TV a day and that was propaganda, a VCR was more expensive than a car, believe me. And it was a big industry. and yeah, tapes were moving around like crazy, like no tomorrow. Then yeah, DVD, and I don't know, there may be a few more, but hey, isn't that amazing how many technologies were staples and now they are completely gone? K6HNG, back to net control.
Yeah, I agree, Adrian. That's what really sparked this. I had a conversation with a fellow ham, and we were talking about some of the things that are gone these days. And I was like, that would make a fun net to kind of reminisce about things that were such a big part of our life growing up that maybe even no longer exist anymore. I have a stack of CDs, folders that are, hundreds of CDs large, but I don't have a CD player to play them with anymore. I know I could get one off of eBay or something like that, but it's cool to see where society and technology has taken us, but I kind of miss the old cassettes and the old CDs and the artwork that the bands put to them. And I know you could see that on the streaming platforms, but for me, it's just not the same. So, all right, thanks, Adrian, for checking in. Didn't quite catch that. I talked over you, but thanks for checking in. And I'm going to move on down the list here. W7 WYZ, I believe it was. Michael, did I get that call right? And thanks for checking in.
Yes, it's W7VYZ. Thanks for having me. What a great topic for tonight's net. Thanks again for having it. And I am going to have to go with light bulbs. It's not something that is super outdated, but more recently I'm looking through the house and I'm trying to figure out about fluorescence underneath the sink, special bulbs in the vanity, chandeliers, and I just can't hang with those LEDs, no matter how efficient they are. I'm just not into it. The color temperature, the way that they burn, I think I'm a bit of a purist. I really, really miss light bulbs from the past. I'll send it back to net.
All right, Michael. Yeah, that's a great choice there. I never really thought about that the standard light bulb is kind of gone by the wayside. I mean, you can still buy them. You can get a 60-watt incandescent bulb, a 100-watt bulb, but nowadays with efficiency, everyone wants to move to LEDs. But you're right. It's now they're getting colored LEDs, and you can get those warm temperature LEDs and things like that. But yeah, I could definitely see how that switch, or I guess as society has tried to become more efficient with energy, some of these light bulbs are going by the wayside. So again, thank you, Michael, for checking in. And if you're on the live stream, don't be afraid to share some more. I will come back to the live stream here shortly and read some of the comments there live on the air. So let's keep on moving down here. KE6MAE. Larry, haven't heard you in a while. Great to hear you checking in tonight. Welcome to the Saturday Night Roundtable. Are you watching the live stream as well?
KE6MAE. Negative on the live stream. I'm not sure if I know where to find that. A lot of things you miss from the past. I mean, when I first started my full-time job, they gave me a pen, a rotary phone, and a pad of paper, and that was my job, to make phone calls, write it down, and stuff like that. Where today, it's certainly a lot different. I do miss the personal contact by phone. It seems like people would prefer the text than to phone and talk in person. That's just one of the things we seem to lose. I miss the CDs and the old 8-tracks. Sure, everything's digital. I have most of my music on digital, but the others were good as well. Oh boy, you always come up with some creative things. There's probably 1,000 things I think that are now better. Google is better. Anything you want to know, you just ask your phone. Pop it right up. Don't have to go to that old encyclopedia or dictionary. Let me take a break. KE6MAE.
All right, Larry, thanks for coming back and checking in with me. You're right. There's thousands of things that have kind of gone by the wayside, and as technology has increased, I had something happen to me today. I was in Home Depot, and I was trying to buy weed whacker string, and I couldn't remember what size I needed for my weed whacker. And what did I pull out of my pocket was my cell phone with all this AI, and all I did was ask it, what size do I need? And lo and behold, it spit out an answer, and that's what I purchased. So, yeah, that never would have happened just a few years ago with AI and how it can scour the internet in a fraction of a second and give you the answers at your fingertips. It's pretty cool. So, yeah, I think as one of the things I can't live without, it's probably this cell phone. But you're right, the landline is kind of gone by the wayside. I'm sure there's some folks that still have one out there. But the days of the switchboard and the human being actually pulling the pins and dropping into other holes or whatever they were doing, no longer needed in this digital environment. So, again, thanks, Larry, for checking in. Let's keep on moving down to a Gary, K06HRX, Hotel Romeo X-Ray. Welcome, Gary.
Welcome, Darren. Everyone that's on the net, all the people that are alongside watching on live chat, and since it's a family show, we've got to be extra careful here. For the most part, you burnt up mine with the operators doing the phone line, so I'm going to go to something a little bit simpler. Points and condenser on a car. For the most part, that's massively obsoleted to this day. Drum brakes on an automobile, they don't exist. It's pretty much disc brakes all the way around. As far as a joke and technology is what we're doing right now. No ifs, ands, or buts, no second choices. The joke will be, what has four wheels and flies? And I'll cut right to the chase so we don't have to go crazy. That would be a garbage truck. Anyway, back to you, Darren, K06HRX.
All right, Gary, thanks for starting us off with our first joke of the night, busting the ice here. So that's fantastic. Love the joke. Got a chuckle out of it. That's what I was hoping for. So there's your example, folks, of get your jokes ready if you're going to check in. Let's make this even more fun. Let's check in with the live stream and see what folks are saying over there. If you're not listening or you're not watching in the live stream, this is where I bring those that are on the RF side into the internet side. So Corey says, one thing I'm definitely happy about is how strong vinyl has held on. Yeah, I would agree. I mean, if you really want some of the best sound quality around, vinyl's still where it's at, and having a quality record player for sure. So, yep, I would agree. That one has definitely stood the test of time. Glenn says, CDs, DVDs, I've always loved actually owning my media. I love the cover art that came with them and all the streaming services these days. I still like to hold a physical thing. I'm right there with you, Glenn. I still kind of reminisce every now and then when I look through my binder of CDs and think about my high school days. So very good, yeah. Records should be better. Harold says, K06HRN, hello to all. Hello to you, Harold. All right, we got more comments rolling in, but I'll save those a little further down the road. Let's get back to the RF side of things. W6JAM, I believe it was John. Welcome to the Saturday Night Roundtable. Or maybe it was a W2JAM. If there's a John out there, go ahead. I most certainly got that one wrong, but we'll circle back to you, John, to see if you're there. Let's move on to K06 Echo Juliet Victor. Welcome to the Saturday Night Roundtable.
Hey, appreciate you, WD6 USN, and thanks for doing the Net Master Chief. I'd say I miss movie rentals, like Blockbuster and things like that. It's hard on TV to figure out what you want to watch, but back then you could just walk down the aisles and there's sci-fi and horror and all these different genres. I can remember being a kid and my mom being like, grab a video game and grab a movie, and the whole weekend was taken care of. So that was good. That's my input. I look forward to seeing y'all at Hamcation next weekend. Kilo Oscar 6, Echo Juliet Victor.
Well, thank you for checking in, and I look forward to seeing you up at Hamcation for sure. Man, you hit the nail on the head. I was thinking of that too. The Blockbusters, a video store on every corner. Now, no longer could you, there's no need for them with all the streaming services. But you're right. It was just something about looking through the boxes there on the wall at what you were going to watch that night. And sure, it's a lot easier now to find what you want with these streaming services. But there was just something about going to the video store and picking out that video for the night. So they're very good, very good. Thanks for that. And do you got a joke? Back to you.
I'm not a very funny guy. I'm a former sailor, so not appropriate for the net.
Yeah, I totally understand. We can get a little rowdy in the Navy, so let's keep it PG-13 tonight. For those that have a joke in their pocket, I'm sure there's a Lou out there or somebody that's just got a whiz banger for us they're gonna drop. So all right, let's keep moving on down the list here. K6DV Ellen becoming a regular for us here. Thanks for checking in tonight. Over to you, Ellen.
Oh my goodness, you did catch my call. How great is that? I don't want to be a regular. I'd rather be irregular and weird and all those other things that are more fun. Okay, you asked me about things that are obsolete. Oh boy. How about encyclopedias? I'm old enough to remember sitting those on the shelves. And slide rules for all you engineers. I dated an engineer in college, and he had a slide rule and a pocket protector. Still thought he was cute. Anyway, drive-in movie speakers. That's something I jotted down. Just drive-in movies in general, I suppose. And I learned to type on a manual typewriter that says, oh dear, I'm old. And I do have a joke for you. It's dumb, but that's Saturday night, so here we go. What goes, ha 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 ha, ha 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 ha, thump.
I have no idea. Let us have it.
I'm going to let you have it. That's somebody laughing their head off. Thump. Bye.
Oh, Ellen, I can't wait to meet you. You're a ball of fun, and the best signal in the Papa system, by the way. I know everyone keeps commenting about that from your location, but again, thanks for being a regular. You're getting a lot of laughing smiley faces on the live stream, so a great example of a good joke. It could be corny. It doesn't matter. Let's have it. We're all laughing together here on a Saturday night. So thanks for that. I have a special request in to announce the channel again for those that are trying to get in. So for those that are looking to get onto the YouTube live stream, if you search in YouTube, this is all one word, the @ Papa System SNR, Sierra November Romeo. That stands for Saturday Night Roundtable. @Papa System SNR. That'll get you to the channel, and there you'll see the video that should say live. Go ahead and click on it, and you'll see what's going on. Like I said, there is a little delay between what's happening on your RF and what's happening on your computer screen, so just got to bear with it a little bit. All right, let's keep on moving on down the list. KO6 Hotel Romeo November. Welcome to the Saturday Night Roundtable.
Hi, Darren. Thank you very much. This is Harold. I'm in Anaheim off of Papa 22. And some of the old technology that I remember is having a landline phone mounted on the wall with seemed like a 20-foot extension cord so that you can walk all over the house. That was portability. And another thing that's still around but hardly used as much are United States Postal Service stamps. I grew up as a stamp collector, and I have a bunch of stamps, and I still get some now and then of the new ones, but those used to be very common and everywhere. and I don't see them as often. We hardly get as many letters. But those are some of the old things that I remember, amongst many things. So back to you, Darren. This is Kilo Oscar 6, Hotel Romeo November.
All right, Harold, thanks for checking in and sharing those with us. Yeah, I agree. I had that phone on the wall with the long cord that just seemed to get tangled up and tangled on everything. And every once in a while, you had to pull and stretch it out and spin the phone. So, yeah, it's amazing how far we've come. No more pay phones, no more landlines on the wall. Even businesses that have landlines are usually voice over IP phones. So though they may look like a landline, they're still very much digital. So yeah, I think the days of the phone on the wall is probably numbered and won't be around too much longer. So the chat is moving, guys. We have 23 viewers currently on the live chat. Hello to you all. Thank you for being a part of this. I don't know any other net on any other radio repeater system that's doing stuff like this. So I'm enjoying it. I hope you are as well. Let's see what they're saying. I can't remember where, but I think there's a privately owned Blockbuster that's still open somewhere in the U.S. That's from Corey. Somebody needs to Google that. Find that location. I wonder how they're doing, and I think I would go. If there was a Blockbuster on the corner today, I think I'd go check it out and get a movie. But I don't know if it's enough to stay in business. So, but that's very cool. I believe they're bringing back Radio Shack. Gary says overseas. I could be wrong. Yeah, Radio Shack. That was, for us ham nerds. That was kind of the paradise for the guys that wanted to build circuit boards and things. And now you got to order all that stuff online. So, yeah, very good. Oh man, the encyclopedias weren't biased at all. You got to be careful now with Google these days. Encyclopedias were the real plethora of knowledge at our fingertips. That's from Corey. Yeah, and the encyclopedia salesmen that went door to door, all gone by the wayside as time has gone. But you're right. Yeah, now the information is all digital, and you can't always guarantee what you're reading is accurate. So. And let's keep looking. Paul says, good evening from way up here in Modesto. Rough copy on Papa 32, so listening to All-Star and YouTube Live. Well, welcome, Paul. A great example of what the live can do for us. You can still interact with the net when you're in areas with rough coverage. And we're doing our best with the Papa system and getting to all areas, but there's some pockets here and there, and I think the YouTube Live helps fill in. So welcome to the YouTube Live and via All Star. So very good. All right, let's keep moving on down the list here. I'll come back to the live stream here shortly. Keep chatting away, guys, and if you even want to tell a joke on live chat, I'll be happy to read your joke for you on live chat if you don't want to do it yourself. So let's go to my good buddy Bob, one of my helpers behind the scenes. I actually need a staff for this thing now. I got engineers behind the scenes helping me run this thing. And there's Bob, W6CJX. Welcome, Bob. Did I not go out on that last one? W6CJX, Bob, are you out there?
Hey, Darren. I don't know why that always happens to me either. I think last time the radio wasn't programmed correctly, so let me make sure I'm making it through, please.
You are coming through. My spacebar might have not just engaged, so it could have been my end. Hopefully I wasn't too silent on the RF side. The YouTube side of things was hearing me, but the RF side might not have for a few seconds there. So I've got you, and hopefully you got me.
Wasn't that a Sonny and Cher song, I think? I've got you. Anyway, yeah, thanks for running the net. Great job again. Man, you're like the Wizard of Oz behind the curtain there, pulling all the strings and the valves and pushing everything out of the way. I think, well, I was interested when Adrian said about the VCRs and Eastern Eastern Europe, where they, literally only got 2 hours of TV a day, and the rest of the time they could watch VCR tapes, and so that was, I love it when he brings in that European flair or differences, like that, and shares it with us. It's really very, very cool. So I was going to say on VCRs is that I used to make a little side living on repairing VCRs. People literally would go to Blockbuster, one of the rental houses, and they would have a tape that was repaired, and the guy put when he spliced the VHS tape back together, he left a little gap there with the tape behind it, and as that adhesive tape in that gap would go through the video heads, it would contaminate them, and then basically all you got was snow and audio. Let me reset. So I had people bring them to work, and I'd put them in my trunk, take them home for $20. I'd clean the heads, put on new rubber tires and things, whatever it needed, and most of the time, I would say about 90-some% of the time I could fix it. And so I made a little bit of money on the side with that, but I missed the old VCRs, and that was a fun thing. All right, ready for my joke for the night?
Absolutely. Not enough jokes tonight. Come on, people. Get them out. Let's have it, Bob.
All right. Well, hopefully I won't get in trouble. And this is not my wife. It's just my wife in general. My wife said no radios in the bedroom. So I've been sleeping on the couch for the last week. All right. Back to you, Darren. Thanks for doing the net, W6EJax. Oh, wait. Where's he going? He's attacking the camera right now on the YouTube side. What I wanted to segue into real quick, sorry to take up more time, I didn't mean to. Like Ellen had said, the drive-ins have gone away. So tomorrow night's topic on the Outdoor Net, even though it's not hiking and fishing and camping and hunting, it'll be about drive-ins, the old drive-ins. Do you remember those? And what did you used to take? Who did you take? And, well, we don't want to know what you did there. We just want to talk about old drive-ins. All right, I'll send it back to you, Darren. WD6, USN, W6EJax. Back to you. Thanks for doing it.
All right, Bob. I was thinking about that, and what a great segue from the Saturday night into the Sunday night, where you're talking about drive-ins. We used to have one down here in San Diego, down in Imperial Beach. I think even that one closed now. So I'm going to be definitely tuning in. I know there's probably some that are still out there, and I always enjoyed going. I think the very first movie I saw at a drive-in was E.T. So that shows you how old I am, and I'm sure there's others out there that have way before then. But I always thought the drive-in was just such a cool atmosphere to watch a movie, whether you're in a pickup truck or a hatchback, and you open the back and kind of just kind of cool. So yeah, what a good time those were. And all right, let's I had to make a little adjustment on the camera here. I didn't quite get it, my on-air emblem that is supposed to be on the TV screen, but I moved my camera around. So all right, let's take a peek at the live stream, see what people say. We were talking about the Blockbuster, and this is what I love about the live stream. I can ask a question and somebody can research it for me and throw the answer into the live stream. And lo and behold, the very last Blockbuster was in Bend, Oregon, according to Harold. So Harold, thanks for digging that out and finding out where that last Blockbuster might have been. So cool. We'll come back to the live chat here shortly. Let's keep moving down the list here. I should be able to. K4PQH. I think I got it right. Got to meet him in the flesh today. Good to see you. I know you're heading back east soon, but we'll be able to stay in contact with you, as I believe you said you had a hot spot, and you'll still stick around with the Papa System. So welcome to the Saturday Night Roundtable.
Good evening, Darren and Annette. This is Kilo Foxtrot 4 Papa Quebec Hotel Ron, coming in from Wonga, about 20 miles east of Temecula. So something that hit my brain: steel roller skates. Had a skate key, you clamped them on your sneakers, your shoes, you went skating down the street on them. And one of the things we do is take one of those skates, separate it, take it in half, put one wheel on the back of the back wheel on a piece of 2x4. Front wheel on a piece of 2x4. Let me break a minute. Find a wooden soda carton, nail that to the 2x4, screw it to the 2x4, get a couple of boards, put it on there. Lo and behold, you had a scooter. How about a joke? Buddy time tomorrow. How do you catch a unique rabbit? Unique up on him. How do you catch a tame rabbit? The tame way. KO4 PQH. Sorry, guys. Back to net.
Comment, M-A-E.
No apologies needed. That's what we need. Even the corny jokes are good. I've got a couple corny ones up my sleeve. So I heard Larry out there. Larry, go ahead with your recheck.
Why, did that bring back memories? I remember back in the 50s, I made the same scooter. It was a lot of fun until you hit a crack in the sidewalk and knocked your front teeth out. And I'll do my joke that I didn't get a chance to do the first time. What do you call a cow that just delivered? Okay, decaffeinated. Corny, but funny.
Oh, perfect. Perfect. I'm going through my head here trying to figure out what it would mean, but awesome. Thanks, guys, for coming in with the good jokes. So very good, very good. Yeah, I never built the wooden scooter, but yeah, I could see how that can get kind of sketchy with the cracks in the road and going over the bars and knocking your teeth out. So awesome for that. All right, let's keep moving on down the list. Oh, there was a couple of things in the live chat, but somebody mentioned that they're not sure, but it's been a while. But they believe Pomona. Yeah, Pomona still has a drive-through off of Mission. So if you're up in that area and you can confirm, do you have a drive-through? Make sure you check, not drive-through, a drive-in. Make sure you check in tomorrow night and talk about it with Bob on the Great Outdoors Net. So let's move on down. KK6LMC. Carolyn, heard you out there with the ladies. As always, great to hear you guys. Welcome for sticking around and coming to the Saturday Night Roundtable.
Hi, Darren. Yeah, it's a lot of fun over there, too. We cover a lot of territory on the ladies' net out there on Saturday nights all the time. I try to come up with great topics like you do, too, Darren. But what I'm missing the most, Darren, is the old flip phones. I had a black one that I loved, and then I had a red and silver one at one time. Those were so cool. And then before all that, we had the Motorola bag phone in the car, so going way back. And then I thought about telephone booths kind of popped into my head. At one point they were a nickel where you'd come out of the theater and need a ride home and put the nickel in a telephone booth and get a ride home, have the folks come and pick you up when we were kids. And then it went up to 10 cents, then it went up to 25. And then I have a old CD player, and it has a radio on it too, and I think it still works. And then the old answering machines of phone, and then tape recorders. And I had a Walkman and an iPod at one point too, and 45 record player, and LPs are coming back now, and they're getting real popular, so people are going to get those turntables again. And, great topic tonight, Darren, and I do have a joke for you.
All right, Carolyn, go ahead with the joke.
Okay, Darren. Since you're a naval guy, sea monsters have been known. Let me see here. Let me just turn the page here. I wrote down a couple of notes. And sea monsters have been known to eat what? Fish and ships.
I'm laughing in my ham shack here. You'll see me on the live stream. So fantastic. Like I said, I love the corny ones. I got one back at you. What do you call a fish with no eyes? A fish. Yeah, I know. It's corny. Hard to do on RF through the microphone, but yeah. So keep them coming, guys. That's awesome. Man, Carolyn, you just named off a litany. The answering machine. I forgot all about that one. Yeah, the little tape, little cassette player that, and you told you how many messages you had. Yep, all long gone. and no one uses them anymore. So awesome. Thanks for checking in, Carolyn, and sharing all of those great technologies that we no longer have anymore. Very cool that you have a CD player. Keep that thing around. Don't let that go by the wayside, and make sure it stays working for you. But all right, the chat's kind of going. Let's check in with the chat. And Jeff, I know you're hanging on. I'm coming to you next, but let me catch up on the chat here real quick. I see Eric, KO6 Delta Tango Echo. Records have been mentioned, but some of us audio geeks still use vacuum tube amplifiers. I bet that's some of the best. Even though they're technologies that have gone by the wayside, some of the best sound came from those amplifiers. So Corey says, I remember laser tag. Oh man, that was a big one. You used to go to those warehouses and be able to fight your buddies, and they hosted birthday parties. Yeah, you wore all the gear that told you when you got shot. The military still uses variants of that stuff. A little more technology built in, but very cool. So let's see. I see I got Hal was in there. It says, Darren, in and out, not getting good RF coverage out at, where are you, Hal? You're by Lake Skinnerd in Temecula. Yeah, so if 24 is not hitting you, maybe you can hit 31. Give 31 a try, Hal, if you're out in that area, and try to check in. But if not, listening in the live stream, and I'm seeing you on the chat. So welcome again, Hal. So, and all right, let's get back to the RF side of things. Jeff, AB6MB, has been hanging on. How are you, Jeff? Looking forward to seeing what you have to tell us, and what technologies do you miss?
How about transistor radios? Remember, I got one for Christmas that had 10 transistors in it, and I'm not sure how that really helped it, but it did. And black and white TVs. I remember watching the landing on the moon on black and white TV in our home there. I'm not saying I would want a black and white TV, but they were they did the job then, way back when. That's about it. No joke here, by the way. So back to you, AB6MB.
All right, Jeff. Yeah, you made me think of one thing. So I didn't have a black and white. So I grew up, late in mid 70s and 80s. I'm an 80s kid, really. So things were color by then, but not very good color. My TV had it had a controller that allowed us to change the channel, but there was a wire that went all the way across the room to the box that was connected to the TV. So it was a remote control with a wire. So that's the furthest back I remember. But being able to watch the moon landing on a black and white, it's amazing to see what technology has done. I mean, look what we're doing here on Saturday Night Roundtable. We're live streaming alongside RF, and the two are working seamlessly with each other and working well. So thanks, Jeff, for checking in all the way up there in the Bay Area, and always being a regular with the Saturday Night Roundtable. And if you haven't checked into Jeff's net on Friday night, Jeff runs a wonderful antenna net every Friday night at 7 p.m. And if any of you have antenna questions, they will definitely a wealth of knowledge with him and the folks that chime in, him and Logan and Tim, that are always knowledgeable on antennas, sharing their knowledge with those. So don't be afraid to swing by his net on Friday night. Just a little shameless plug for you there, Jeff. All right, let me reset real quick and let me check the chat because it's flying. All right, we'll get caught up here. Joanne. Sorry, Joanne. What a terrific implementation. Thank you, Darren, for your efforts. Jordan, W06D, CVARC, QCWA, and Papa System. All kinds of system membership there. Thank you, Joanne, for the compliments. And I'm having a good time. I like how the interaction between the two can happen. And let's see, Corey's got. Let's see. I got to filter some of these because some of you guys are telling jokes in the chat that I can't tell on the RF side. Remember, I told you to keep it PG-13. So, If you want to see those jokes, you're going to have to go to the chat to see them. But all right, cool. Ellen, this is fun. K6DV finally checked into the right account on YouTube. All right, hopefully, if you're struggling to find the account on YouTube, if you search in the YouTube search bar at Papa System SNR, you'll find the channel location there for those that are out there. Logan, my friends are blown away by the first portable 8-track players. Yeah, I remember driving in a car with my dad, and he had 8 tracks in the car. So definitely, for me, it's the CDs, right? Cassettes and CDs that I miss. But I know the older folks out there, 8-track players and earlier for sure. But very good. All right, I'm done with the first round of check-ins. Let's go. Let me ID real quick, because it's been a little bit. Let me pause, and I'll re-ID. All right, this is Darren, WD6USN, with the Saturday Night Roundtable, and our topic tonight is kind of obsolete technologies, things that you grew up with that was such a big part of your life that are no longer a part of your life that you kind of miss. And if you want to throw in there things that are kind of cutting edge and that you don't think you can do without with technologies that are changing. Like I said, for me, that cell phone in my pocket is just a wealth of knowledge for anything I need at my fingertips. So that's certainly one I can't live without. But that's what we're talking about tonight, and we're running alongside the live feed. So don't be afraid to ask your questions there, and I'll answer them on the live on the net. So let's take another round of check-ins. Anyone, anywhere, come now.
Kilo Oscar 6, Charlie Delta Delta. KC6 Echo Sierra Whiskey, Mike in Santa Clarita, coming through on Papa 1.
All right, I got Mike and RJ. There was one in the middle there. Can that one come back to me again?
Kilo Oscar 6 Charlie Delta Delta, Brian.
And KI6 LOV at the cabin.
Oh. KC6 OQL.
All right, keep them coming. I got all those so far. Keep them coming. All right, and let's go with that. But before we do, let me tell my joke. Mine's a little bit lengthy, so I'll get to it right here. I wrote it down so I don't miss anything because it's got a lot to it. So here we go. A small plane's flying from Dallas to Denver when an engine sputters out and dies, and the pilot runs out of the cockpit, grabs a parachute, opens the door, and says, "Sorry, there's only 3 parachutes left," and jumps out of the plane. This leaves the 4 passengers, a 12-year-old boy, a college professor, a priest, and a doctor. The doctor says, "Guys, I need to be saved. I heal people, and I'm a valuable resource to human population." He grabs a parachute and jumps on out. The professor says, "Well, I've won the Nobel Prize, and I've spoken to leaders of the free world. The President of the United States calls me the smartest man alive, and it's obvious I need to be saved," and grabs the parachute and jumps out, leaving the priest and young boy, but only 1 parachute. The priest smiles sadly at the boy and says, "Son, I've lived a long, fruitful life. You are young. You have the rest of your life in front of you. Take the parachute." The boy replies, "It's okay, sir. The smartest man alive jumped out with my backpack." All right, there you go. That's my joke. Not that great, but I thought it was funny. I'm looking forward to seeing what jokes these next few check-ins have. Chat, stand by. Let me get through a few RF check-ins, and we'll come back to the chat and see what's going on in there. So I've got KN6AVH. RJ, welcome to the Saturday Night Roundtable.
Well, good evening. I just heard a different version of your joke. You utilizing 3 different type of people in the identical joke, but with 4 different people. 4-track tapes. You put the cassette in, you pulled the lever so the capstan would come up against the idler wheel, and the tape would play. And when it was done, you pushed the lever forward and released it. Then there were L cassettes. I don't know if anybody ever remembers L cassettes. They were bigger than compact cassettes, but they had a little bit more bandwidth and a lot more quality. I think Sony might have been the only one that produced the L cassette, I think. And oh man, there's so many different things. You know, when we go back to look at, you know, washing machines with ringers and just all kinds of stuff. Anyway, let me get to my joke here, and I'll kill the music here in the background. I just realized was going. A German Shepherd, a Doberman, and a cat died. In heaven, they faced God, who wanted to know what they believed in. The German Shepherd said, I believe in discipline, loyalty, and training to my master. Good, said God, you may sit on my right side. The Doberman said, I believe in love, care, and protection of my master. Ah, you may sit on my left side, said God. Then God looked at the cat and said, and what do you believe in? The cat replied, I believe you are sitting in my seat. KM6AVH, back to net control. Cat people will really appreciate
Could always count on RJ for a good joke. Fantastic, RJ. Thanks for being out there and sharing some of those long-lost technologies for sure, and a great joke to go with it. That's a perfect example of what we're looking for here on the Saturday Night Roundtable. Keeping it fun. Hard net to run, right? Because Saturday night's usually the night everyone goes out. So trying to keep you entertained if you're hanging out at home. That's what we're all about here. Thanks, RJ, for sharing that. And like I said, a great joke to go with it. Let me take a quick peek at the chat here because it's moving so fast I can't keep up with it. There was a couple I wanted to mention out there. Let me see. Goodness. Logan says the HP 41CX programmable calculator was amazing computing technology back in the 80s. I bet. You know, he's got a lot in here. Man, Logan is the wealth of knowledge on things. He's talking about floppy disks, zip drives. Oh, remember the zip drive? Everyone thought that was going to be the game changer, the zip drive. Oh, man, you're definitely bringing back some memories there. The CD-RWs and all the DVD-RWs and being able to write to disk. I know some people still do that, still write to it. So very good. Benny says, K6BJF saying hello. Hello to you too, Benny. Welcome to the Saturday Night Roundtable's live stream. And Logan just keeps running there. I learned an assembly language on a TRS-80 that used to be an audio cassette deck for storage. Awesome. The Palm Pilot seemed to be useful when it came out. I had a Palm Pilot. Yep. I thought it was very useful. Who had the cell phone that was so large it came in a bag that had a shoulder strap on it, you know? And it was just that big, and now it's turned into just a little device in your pocket. It's pretty impressive where technology has come. All right, let's keep on moving down the list here on the RF side of things. Sorry, guys on the RF that are waiting. It's kind of hard with two different technologies running side by side. I got to keep them all synced up. All right, KO6 CDD, Brian, my good buddy on my commute in the morning. How are you, Brian? Welcome to the Saturday Night Roundtable.
Hey, Darren. Oh, good net. Things I can remember, green computer screens that were 4 inches by 4 inches, and reel-to-reel players. Those are some of the cool old things. My brain just went blank, can't think of any jokes, so I'll hit you on the commute. KO6 CDD, back to net.
All right, I got a question. Since you mentioned the green screens and the old computer technology, is DOS gone? You don't see too many MS-DOS programs these days, but I know you dabble in that world a little bit. So back to you real quick. Is MS-DOS gone for good?
Well, all of the Windows stuff is still based on it. you can still get to a command prompt and run DOS commands. So it's still out there in effect, but full-on DOS went the way of the dinosaur.
Yeah, I remember making, when I had to actually dial into an internet provider and get my computer linked up, and having those dashboards that you can set up and communicate between your buddies. That was the days before the websites were there. So very cool. So awesome. Well, thanks, Brian, for checking in. And yep, we will see you on the commute. Let's keep moving on down the list. KC6ESW Mike, good evening to you, and welcome to the Saturday Night Roundtable.
Good evening. How's my signal? Am I okay?
You sound marvelous, Mike.
Why, thank you, Reset. Very good. KC6ESW Mike here in Santa Clarita. Happy Saturday, guys. By the way, Angels lost tonight. So, Giants beat them 3-2, so Angels have lost. Dodgers lost today, so here we go again for you baseball fans. We're still trudging through the season here. Hey, again, television back in the day, and I'm a product of the 60s. It was incredible. For those of you that had a classic TV set up at home, you had that rotor and the little thingamajig on the top of the TV set. You could turn it and point the antenna wherever you get the best signal. I grew up in San Francisco, so there was like 5 stations, and it was always a hassle. We didn't have a rotor or a roof up in here. We had rabbit ears. It worked for the most part, but I always tell this story. At Christmas, for years, we had a aluminum Christmas tree with the color wheel. And whenever we had that tree set up, we got like 4 extra stations on the TV set. The weirdest thing. Don't know why, but we did. But our first color TV went into a television showroom where TVs were just lined up in a row. I mean, and they're pieces of furniture right now. Let me reset. The furniture, I mean, the TVs were heavy. They're all cabinet. But we've got our first color TV. It was an RCA, and basically it was brightness, contrast, color, and tint. That was it. And there was UHF actually, so there was that. And UHF dial was kind of like a free floating. It didn't look like you really had to tune it. It was like a VFO. So there was that, and so yeah, the early TV sets. And then in that vein, when you're out and about at train stations or bus stations or the airport, they had pay TVs where you could sit down and put in quarters or whatever it was and watch TV for an hour or two, which was pretty cool as well. So yeah, TVs definitely changed. I heard the 8-tracks. The 8-track tapes were a thing as well, but the problem with 8-tracks is, what if you liked a certain song, you want to hear it again, you had to wait for it to go all the way around again to listen to it. So that was that. Okay, my joke, stand by. This is good, guys. And there's a math kind of connection as well. What would a female sea monster, let me rephrase that. What piece of lingerie would a female sea monster wear? The answer is an algebra. KC6ESW.
Oh, thank you, Mike. I was hoping we'd get some of the corny ones, and those are some of the best ones, in my opinion. Very good. Thanks for sharing your inputs on technology. Some great ones there for sure. I don't think I've ever seen the pay TV ones. Very interesting, and I could see why they've gone by the wayside when everyone's got a TV in their pocket now. But very cool, very cool. All right, Mike, thanks again for checking in and sharing a good joke with us. Let me check in on the chat real quick. It's moving so fast that I can't keep up with it, so my apologies if I didn't get to all your comments to read them live here on the air, but that's a good thing, right? Ellen says, I used to teach high school students with DOS 5.25-inch floppy disks and then swapped it out for the WordStar program disk. Then they switched me out to the Apple IIs. Oh, very nice. I remember the Apple II. The Apple II was the predecessor to the Mac computer. Logan says, basic programming language on the Apple IIe. Yep, mine was in middle school and was a very simple program, says Gary. Awesome, guys. Really appreciate the chat and how it interacts with those that are on the RF side. And you can comment about the person on the RF commenting and add to their comments. That's what makes these two worlds pretty cool, that we can bring them together here on the Saturday Night Roundtable, not Saturday Night Live. But and you get to stare at me for an hour, right? I mean, what more could you ask, right? Oh, no, not really. But we're having fun. And don't, for those that wanted to see the Ham Shack and how this all happens, when I'm ready to shut things down, I'll do a quick tour, and we'll end it that way. So before we do that, let's get to my buddy out in the cabin. Hopefully, you're being entertained out there, Steve. I know you probably can't get the live stream out there, but you're listening in. KI6LOV. Love hearing them come in from the cabin.
Well, good evening, Darren, and everyone out here on the Saturday night live stream roundtable. Let me make sure I've got a good enough signal to ramble on. Back to you.
Absolutely, Steve. You're coming in just fine.
All right, very good. I'm going way, way back, and I know people mentioned rotary phones and all that, but way back when I was a teenager, and we not only had rotary phones, but there were party lines. So some of your neighbors would be on the same phone line. So you would pick up the receiver and, let's say, here's my example. I pick up the receiver and I hear Mrs. Brown down the block. And it's really important that I call Becky, my girlfriend, and Mrs. Brown is on the line, so I have to wait. And so I'm going to unkey and come back. So I would, this is in a hypothetical situation, but I would, for example, say, excuse me, Mrs. Brown, I really need to call Becky. This is Steve from up the street. And she'd say, no, Steve, this is very important. I'm going to be on the phone for about 10 more minutes. And then I would ask her, please, to let me call. And she would say, well, you can either let me finish my call or you can put your mother on the phone. And that wasn't going to happen. So I've got a couple of more short ones here, Darren.
Comment?
All right. Personal tape cassette machines. Back in the 70s, when those first were getting really good, and it was the big thing. And I had a really nice one. I saved up money, and I bought a Daiwa little cassette player, and it had really good audio, and I had the headphones for myself and a friend, and I had the splitter and the whole thing and all my tapes. And one day, my buddy and I hiked up to a ridge out here near the cabin, and we were listening to Pink Floyd way up on this ridge, looking at the mountains and all this. And he kind of looked over and tapped me on the shoulder, and I pulled out off my headphones, and he says, nobody else can hear this? And I said, no. And it was so cool, because it was high-tech back in the day. And then I've got a quick, I don't know if it's a joke, but let me unkey and I'll give it back to you for a comment, and then I'll finish up.
Comment KC6ESW.
Gotcha, Mike. I'll get you after Steve's done.
All right, very good. I just wanted to mention that as far as all this outdated technology goes, I think that the Smithsonian is still looking for donations of all kinds of VCRs and CD players and things, because they always have old media that they're trying to digitalize and put into their database, and they need equipment to take apart and use for spare parts. So you might want to research that, and if you have any units that they might need, send them on out to Washington, and they'll use them at the museum. This is KI6LOV. Back to you, Darren. And, I have a quick joke, but I'll give it back to you first.
Okay, let's go with your joke, and then we'll get to Mike. I believe he has a comment about some of the things you mentioned. So go ahead with your joke, and then we'll go over to Mike.
Okay, this is not original material, but I've lifted it from a buddy of ours. And how many radios can one man own? The answer is, don't ask stupid questions. KI6LOV, back to you.
Yeah, I think I get that comment from my wife. Don't ask those questions, right? Yep, awesome. Thank you, Steve, for sharing those long gone technologies. You had a couple in there that I didn't even think of, and some that are still around for sure. But all right, I think Mike had a comment about some of the things you said. So KC6ESW, Mike, go ahead with your comment.
Real quick, rotary phones. I can guarantee that there are folks on this net right now that have never used a rotary telephone. And yeah, I've seen videos, and it's amazing how many folks, when you put them on a rotary telephone, they just don't get it. That's the whole thing. So that's why I want to mention that. Back to you, KC6ESW.
Yeah, I agree. It's cool. It's funny to see some of the kids trying to figure out how it works, right? And to us, it's not that hard, right? But to those that have never seen it, it looks like a foreign thing to them, and they don't even know what it is and how it works. So, yeah, very good. I see the chat's moving. It's got quite a bit. Ellen wants me to wear a silly hat next week. Maybe we'll make that the common thing. We change the hat, the atmosphere in here a little bit. We'll see. I'm probably not going to live stream every Saturday Night Roundtable, but we'll see how it goes. It takes a lot of workings to get this thing going, and well, I wouldn't say a lot, but it adds a little bit of complexity to things. And like I said, I have a little bit of a team behind me that's keeping an eye on things for me. So it's hard to do every week, but we will do our best. Ellen says Sony Walkmans and video games while you typed into the commands. You know, you made me think of one thing. The Oregon Trail that we used to stick in your 5 1/4 inch floppy disk and play the Oregon Trail at school. I'd love to play that again. I'm sure there's an emulator out there somewhere that has that game out there. So Larry says CB radio probably still around, but not for sure, not for us hams. Yeah, there's still plenty of CB guys out there, but I think GMRS really kind of took the CB world, and the FRS, and well, even FRS is still very low wattage, but GMRS kind of killed the CB thing a little bit, but it's still available, still able to get it out there. So Corey says, how about King's Quest on DOS? I don't think I played that one, but again, another game that's kind of gone by the wayside for sure. All right, let's move on to the RF side of things. KC6OQL didn't get a first name with it, but welcome to the net, and over to you.
Okay, this is Nick. And I will tell you about an old rotary system that you can write your own. It was limited number of phone calls, and what you do is you take a pen and write it on a piece of rolling paper. You put down the numbers you want, and you I don't know, it was pretty limited, and it automatically dials out.
Very interesting. I don't think I've seen one. When when was this used, and kind of when do you think it's gone by the wayside, Nick?
Well, I'm an old Elmer, and you're too young to remember that. Anyway, I have a joke for you if you want to hear it.
I'd love a good joke, Nick. Fire away.
Okay, there were three guys who were stranded on an island. They wrecked their boat, and they were sitting out there for months and months. Finally, one of them found a magic lantern. So the genie appeared and says, you have 3 wishes, for one each per person. So the first guy, he asked him, what do you want to do? The guy says, we've been here so long, I sure would like to go home. And wham, he went home. And he asked the second guy, what do you want? The second guy said, I think I'll follow the first guy. I've been here too long, too. Okay. And then he asked the last guy, and the last guy says, I know.
Nick, you timed out on the last guy. If you're still out there with us, pick up your joke on the last guy for us, so we can catch the end of the joke.
So the last guy said, my friends are gone now, and we've been here so long, I'm going to be so lonely without them. I wish they were back.
Very good, very good. Good ending to a corny joke. Very good, awesome. I love it. That's exactly what I was hoping for with some of these jokes. I know not everyone wants to tell a joke, but I thought I'd throw it in there. We'll bring back trivia on the next live stream, but I thought jokes would be a fun change to things since it came very recommended. All right, Nick, thanks for sharing some of those technologies we haven't heard from anyone, and I'm going to have to do a little research. I didn't know anything about that. So that brings me to the end of the list here. Let me go through a quick ID. My name here is Darren. Call sign is WD6USN, and this is the Papa System Saturday Night Roundtable. One of the more unique nets here on the Papa System, where we talk about topics that are not related to ham radio. That's the only thing we don't talk about. Well, there's a few other things we don't talk about, but in general, we keep it light and fun. And tonight, we're just talking about some of the obsolete technologies that we used to have every day, and it was a big part of our life, but now has gone by the wayside. And or if you want to talk about some of the technologies that you can't live without that we have today, you can throw that in there. And if you have a good joke to tell, tonight is the night. Just keep it PG-13. That's all I ask. So, all right, taking a peek at the live chat. I think I'm all caught up there. Pencil sharpeners, Logan says. Are pencil sharpeners going by the wayside? Yeah, I guess mechanical pencils now, you just click it and I don't know, there was a pencil sharpener in every classroom that I was in, but I'll have to ask my kids if they have pencil sharpeners in their classroom. Yeah, I guess that is one thing that's kind of gone. Ellen says fountain pens, and the game was called Mist, I think. Okay, awesome. This is what I love about the chat. They kind of pick up on things that's happening on the RF side and can fill in the blanks for us. So awesome. Thanks, guys, for participating in that. We've had a consistent 25 viewers. I've seen it as high as 29, but it's been sitting at 25 on the live stream, so great job over there. Let me take one final round to check in, see if there's anyone out there that's been listening in that wants to jump in on the conversation here. Anyone, anywhere. Let's see if anyone's out there. Come now.
KJ6 MIT Jonathan, Santa Barbara.
Kilo Oscar 6 Delta Golf X-Ray Rick, Santa Ynez Valley.
All right, I got Jonathan and Rick. There was somebody in the middle there. If you can come back, give me your call.
KM6 AVH for a recheck.
Gotcha, RJ. All right, keep them coming, guys. Anyone, anywhere, come now. All right, we will make this the last call. Last call if you've been holding out and you want to jump in on the RF side, throw out that call sign. If not, jump into the chat and I'll catch you there. Anyone, anywhere, come now. All right. That's the end of the RF side. Let's go to the top of the list. KJ6MID. Jonathan out there in Santa Barbara. Good to hear you out there, buddy. Welcome to the Saturday Night Roundtable. Are you looking in on the live chat at all?
Connecting.
All right. All-Star just dropped off on me. How's everybody hearing me right now? Am I coming through?
Yeah, you're working.
Okay, interesting. Just popped offline on me real quick without me noticing. So let me backtrack real quick. I've got Jonathan, Rick, and RJ. Those were the 3 check-ins on RF I got. Is there anyone out there, last round, last check, or last opportunity to check in tonight? Come now.
K06 ISC. This is Pam.
Bingo. 26.
Ooh, I think that was Matt. Matt, if that was you, 26 is not working. It's given that choppiness again. Do you have any other options, All-Star, or anything else? Give it a try. I think 26 is acting up again. All right, I've got you written down. I'm pretty sure that was Matt, but I'll come back to you if it was Matt, and we'll see if we can catch you. Anyone else anywhere? Come now.
KO6 VKX, Papa 3, Evil, and 25 is offline.
Okay, that's what I thought. It came in real choppy. So, all right, and got you, Evo. Anyone else anywhere? Come now.
Delta Oscar Sierra.
All right, stay.
Logan on All-Star.
I got you, Logan. There was a station on the digital bridge. That station that came in on the digital bridge, you got cut off, so give me a key up, wait a second, and then go ahead and talk. Give me your check-in one more time.
Whiskey 2, Delta Oscar Sierra. That's Whiskey 2, Delta Oscar Sierra.
All right, I got you on that one. All right, anyone else anywhere? Keep them coming.
Not sure if I'm getting in. K3MAT, Kilo 3 Mike Alpha Tango.
Got you on that one, Matt. I wrote your name down because I was pretty sure I heard you, but yeah, 25, 26 is acting up on us. So wherever you're coming through now, I think it's probably All-Star. You're coming through great. So I got you on the list. All right, final call. Final call. I will not take any more check-ins after this because my list is getting long here. Last call, anyone, anywhere. Come now. That station that just tried, you're not making the repeater. Bump the power up, maybe move that antenna a little bit, and give her another try. All right, not hearing you. And if you are able to get to a computer and you can jump in on the live stream side, I can catch you there, but I'm going to call it there. That's the list. Let's jump to the top. KJ6MID, Jonathan out there in Santa Barbara. How are you doing, buddy? Welcome to the Saturday Night Roundtable.
Good evening, Darren, and the rest of everybody on the net. Great net, thank you so much, appreciate it. Old technology, the Panasonic answering machine that had 2 cassettes. One was a looped, very short tape, which was the outgoing message, and then the other one, cassette, a little bit longer, much longer, to take your messages. And when you used to play it back and stuff, or play it back and pause and play, to try and get the message, the whole machine would jump, off of the counter because of the, playing and stopping and playing. That was kind of funny. And let me reset. And then the other thing I'll share is, back in the day of those machines, there used to be like a 4-digit code. So if you were somewhere else, you could call in, push in the code, and it would play your messages back. Well, knowing this knowledge, I was wanting to call a business and trying to get through and never got through, kept getting their answering machine and got frustrated and mad. So I ended up calling one time and pushing a bunch of buttons, and I found out what their code was, which was 1234, which was the default of the machine when it came from the manufacturer. And so once I got in there, in the menu area, you could change the outgoing message, which I did on their business machine. They made some funny little thing, and did that a couple of times before, and then I ended it before I got in trouble. So had a little fun with that. KG6MID, back to you.
Well, thanks for that, Jonathan. Yeah, I mean, I never had one of those Panasonics, but I could see how the tape moving back and forth probably made it jump off the table. That probably would be a sight to see these days, and kids probably wondering what the hell that thing's doing. But very good, Jonathan. Thanks for checking in all the way over from Santa Barbara. Much appreciated. All right, let's keep going down the list. KO6 DGX Rick. Santa Ynez, right? How you doing there, buddy? Thanks for being a regular here on the Saturday Night Roundtable.
Hey, Darren, thank you so much for lifting this evening up so much. And I just want to quickly get a check from you. I switched over to Papa 6 from All-Star, so am I getting in okay?
Yep, you're getting through just fine. You're perfect. Go ahead.
Okay there. Well, a couple of things. It's not really a technology, but it's from the past, and I really miss it and from my childhood. But this is for people who live in Los Angeles County. Do you remember the helmsman? So this is trucks. This is a whole fleet of these trucks that had baked goods, fresh baked goods that morning. And they would drive around, and they would ring the little bell, and then you would run out front, and, man, you could get pies, you could get donuts, and as soon as they opened the back of the truck, oh, my God, it was sublime, man. It was like smelling heaven. So that's something I miss. But I also miss the guy who used to show up every morning at like 6 a.m. We would put out a little tray, and it would be the milk from yesterday. And then he would take it away, and he would put fresh milk in the tray. And then every day you had fresh milk. So you never had to worry about, uncorking your milk and pouring some cereal and having it be really sour. So miss that. And Jonathan, oh my God, that guy entertains me so much. But that was cool what he did with deciphering and kind of like playing with their games with their radio or their system that did the answering phone calls. So Jonathan, that I listened through the whole night. That was the most entertaining thing of the whole night. So and then my joke, yeah, of course, there was these two guys, right? They worked together, and then they were going to go to lunch, and one of the guys is a ham, and then one of the guys is a regular guy. So then they go out to lunch, and they go to this deli, they go inside, and they ask he asked them, "What do you have?" The ham. And anyways, I'm sorry, I forgot the rest of the joke. So back to you. KO6
DGX.
Forgetting your joke halfway through the joke's pretty funny, though, Rick. I'll give you that. But you left us in suspense on what the punchline was. But that's okay. No problem there. Appreciate your check-in. Yeah, I was way before my time, the milkman coming to drop off fresh milk. But definitely saw, plenty of TV shows and videos of it. But yeah, that's very good. Thanks, Rick, for checking in and sharing some of those long-lost technologies that are kind of gone by the wayside. All right, let's keep moving down the list. Let me check in on the live chat of things. So somebody says, okay, so I'm seeing this here long after, and it's on RF. So does this mean no one can read this on RF? I'm going cross-eyed. Well, Aaron, or Aaron, as his name is on here, this is two separate technologies going on. We have a net on the RF, and we have a live stream going where you're hearing all the radio traffic on the live stream, and you're able to interact with both. So it's your choice on how you want to take in the Saturday Night Roundtable. We're offering both sides. Now, when it comes to the comments, I read those on RF so that the folks that are strictly just on RF can see what the commenters are saying. So that's how this is all working. And you mentioned call boxes on the freeway. Haven't seen one in a while. I think they're still out there, but you're right. They've kind of gone by the wayside. So, all right, that's how things are working. Let's keep on moving down the list. I got a recheck from KM6AVH. Go ahead, RJ, with your recheck.
Yeah, KM6AVH. Yeah, my father's brother, aka my uncle, was a milkman for the Bowman Milk Company in Chicago, and he drove a horse-driven, I think he started out at a younger age, horse-driven milk cart, and then later transitioned to a truck. But yeah, that was his job. He delivered milk every morning. The thing that I want to check in, we'll go do something a little bit different here. We'll talk about future technology that's going to go extinct. And I was just reading an article here about Sam's Club. Where do we get here? Sam's Club plans to phase out traditional checkouts across 600 stores and create a friction-free shopping experience, which will include customers scanning goods on the go with an app and then having an AI scanner verify the goods as customers leave. The technology would eliminate the need for a receipt check at the door. So the thing that's going away are humans at checkout counters. So I don't know whether we'll miss them or not, but looking into the future obsolescence, there's one, and of course we're seeing that now in fast food with kiosks and whatnot. So I don't know, maybe live people taking your order will be a thing of the past. KM6AVH, back to them control.
Yeah, I think as we're trying to get more efficient with things, you're right. We're taking more job opportunities away from the people to make money. So, yeah, unfortunately, that's, kind of what happens when you when things start getting as expensive as it is. These businesses are looking for cost savings and making things more automated. But to use AI and all of that, I kind of hate the fact that I've got to do all the scanning and all the bagging, and then I got to go to show somebody that I did it correctly. Like, if you want me to do it correctly, well, then you guys need to come and do it. That's my opinion. So, but thanks for coming back with your recheck, RJ, and sharing that. Yeah, things are changing for sure in that realm. I got to go back to the live chat. Ron77 says he's got a joke for us. So let me get to the chat. Let me make sure I tell it right. Oh, where did it go? Okay, here's his joke. How does a penguin put its house together? It glues it. All right, AA Ron, thank you for that. And that's how the live chat works. If you can't check in on RF, but you want to check in on the live stream, I can share your comments for you. And that's how we're making these two worlds come together. All right, let's keep moving down the list. KO6ISC, I believe it was Pam. Did I get that right?
Yes, indeed. This is Pam from Menifee. And I'm remembering we had the kaleidoscopes where you just twirl the thing and you have all these different colors and lights and stuff. And the other one was when we went to Disneyland or Knott's Berry Farm, we had a viewer that we'd put up to our face, and then you'd put a slide of different pictures in there and go through them and have a little movie on the fly.
Oh, very good. Never thought of those. Yeah, I used to have one of those kaleidoscopes, for sure. Yeah, those you don't see those very often. I'm sure there's like digital versions now that you can get on your phone, but it was nothing like looking through that tube and turning it. So great. That's awesome. Fantastic, Pam. Thanks for checking in the Saturday Night Roundtable and sharing that. That's awesome. All right, let's keep moving down the list. It's getting kind of late.
I have a joke, too.
Oh, let's go ahead, Pam. Go ahead with that joke.
Okay, so what do you call 2 banana peels on the floor?
I'm thinking, but I don't know. Go ahead and give us it.
Slippers.
Very, very good. Very good. Awesome, Pam. Thank you. That's what I was hoping for at the Saturday Night Roundtable. Nice, corny jokes to make us laugh, keep things going. So awesome. Thank you for checking in and making my night. All right, let's go to my good buddy, K3MAT. We shared a few jokes, so don't get me in trouble with the steering committee, all right? Let's keep it PG-13 tonight. Welcome, Matt, to the Saturday Night Roundtable.
Hey, good evening, Darren. I'm kind of just tuning on here at the end of the net here. Did you say that one of the topics is technology that you missed or things from the past that you missed? Is that correct?
Yeah, absolutely. Things that have kind of gone obsolete that were a big part of your life that you don't really find in today. And conversely, things that are like kind of have changed your life as technology has increased. So either or, have at it. And if you have a joke to throw in there, go for it.
All right, well, so technology that I miss. If you take somebody that's, not having grown up in the 80s or something like that or before, and you take them and you sit them down at a table, let's say my 10-year-old daughter, and you sit them down with a rotary telephone. I miss rotary telephones. Sit there and you dial the number and you wait till it's a cycle back and all that kind of stuff. I don't know. You show a young person a rotary telephone these days, and they wouldn't know the first thing of what to do. So I thought that was kind of funny. I do have a joke as well.
All right, fire away. Let us have it.
Okay, well, I don't know. I probably shouldn't say this. I'm going to pass because it's inappropriate, but it is funny. Anyways, I'll play by the rules here, and I'm just going to go ahead and throw it back to you. Thanks for doing the net. Kilo 3, Mike Alpha Tango, back to net control.
Very good. Good, probably a good call. If you want to jump onto the live stream side and drop it into the chat, that is acceptable there. This way, and I won't share it on the RF, but those that want to get a laugh can get a laugh there. How about that? All right, thanks, Matt, for checking in, and let me keep going on down my list here. Let me check in on the live chat real quick. Gary, Gary says, thank you, Darren. I don't know how you do it. I don't know how I do it either. I've got a lot of buttons to push and a lot of things to keep an eye on here, but I'm getting the hang of it. I think I'll get smoother as this live stream gets more and more, but all right, and we'll come back to the live stream here in a minute. Let's go down to KO6BKX Evo, another one of my helpers behind the scenes. Thank you, Evo, for helping keeping an eye on the system for me.
Hey,
good evening, Darren. KO6BKX Evo in Tustin, coming in on Papa 3. I was skiing up on T-Star, got a 5100, and you know how that works. Anyways, something that I'm missing from, well, not missing, but I remember from my time in, was in 4th grade probably, the last time I saw and heard it, was the mimeograph, the stencil maker that my teacher used in his little shack there, and he prepped all the homework for us kids, and boy, he made a lot of it. I'll never forget the smell of that, the ink that he poured on there. It was a very distinctive smell. So yeah, and yeah, a lot of things that I'm missing or haven't seen for a while has been mentioned before. One last thing, the total opposite. I declared in my senior year of high school that I would never use a computer, and boy, was I wrong. Back to you, Darren. I do have a joke if you're up for it.
Absolutely. Fire away, Evo. Absolutely. Fire away, Evo. Send that joke.
All right. Well, I haven't had any, or haven't heard any knock-knock jokes, so I'll need your cooperation, Darren. Knock-knock.
Who's there?
It's Ach.
Ach who?
Bless you. KO6BKX back to net control.
Very good, Evo. I'm sure you're on the live stream and you see me laughing. The corniest jokes are some of the best jokes. All right, I get it, So thanks for that, Evo. Thanks for always jumping in there. And we called it a ditto machine when I was at school. And you're right, the teacher would spin that drum and it would fire it off, and the ink would come very wet. And usually the first thing the student would do when they got the paper was sniff the paper, right? Yeah, very distinct smell for sure. Yeah, I think I'm glad the Xerox machine came around. That ink was probably not good for us. All right, he's been active in the chat on live stream, and here he is on the RF side of things. Logan, KD6LLB, good to hear you, buddy. Welcome to the Saturday Night Roundtable.
Good to hear you, Darren, and it's really great to hear all the comments, and just reminds me of a bunch of things. This is Logan, KD6LLB, coming in on RF now on Papa 4 Saddle Peak, and yes, I didn't remember the name Ditto Machine, but I knew what Evo was talking about, and yeah, so that's something that I would not have thought of on my own. I'd forgotten about those, so that's great. And I will say, I'm going to spare everybody the knock-knock joke that ends with, aren't you glad I didn't say orange? I do have one, it's not an old technology. When, I don't know, 10 or 15, however long ago it was, that I first drove a car with a backup camera, my first thought was, this is silly. This is, And recently, I have been using kind of a spare vehicle that we picked up. It's very old. Well, not very old. It's 2003, and it does not have a backup camera. And I don't know how we survived not having backup cameras. I have lost the ability to back up. I almost have to get out of the car and set up cones. Anyway, I have a joke. If it's okay, back to you.
Absolutely, go for it.
Okay, this is in the category of corny jokes, but it was absolutely my favorite joke when I was 5. And what animal can jump higher than a house?
So I saw you post this one in the chat, and I didn't purposely read it because I figured you might come to RF to tell it. So I know the answer, but go for it, Logan.
Any animal, a house can't jump. Anyway, that was a big hit with 5-year-olds when I was a kid. All right, great job, Darren. Very interesting and very successful net, and it's great to see you live. And everybody have a great rest of their weekend. KD6LLB.
All right, Logan, thanks for that, and thanks for being a heavy commenter on the comment side. So I want to catch up real quick on the comments. There is one thing about the live stream that makes this really unique, and we have somebody in the live stream right now that does not have a ham license, and it enables them to participate with us. Though they can't speak, I can speak for them. So, Ron, I recommend, if you want to learn more about getting your ham radio license and participating with these nets on the RF side, swing by the Papa System Facebook page, PAPASYS.com, and there you will see ways to get involved and take your tests and all that stuff. And we have a program where if you take the test with the Papa System, which is done every Saturday at all the various luncheons throughout Southern California, you get a free radio that is all programmed for you, and we will teach you how to use it. We will give you a mentor to help you through it, and that's how it works. But you can see how the live stream here really brings two worlds together, and it enables those without a license to still kind of listen in on what's going on, and I'm able to share your thoughts. So that's pretty cool. All right, on to my RF side. Let's go to my last check-in. I heard him on the digital bridge, W2DOS. Welcome to the Saturday Night Roundtable. Go ahead.
Thank you very much. Name here is Cash from New Jersey. Just joining in. I was hearing the conversation. Loved it. I'm a network engineer for trade. And I got to say, I really hope printers are gone in about 10 years. I really hope printers go away. And thank God fax machines are really starting to go away, because I can't stand them. Totally obsolete and terrible technologies, and no matter what you do, even if you're a Xerox man, sorry, but they just never seem to work right. There's always a problem. That's why they need these expensive support contracts. Really hoping printers go away, and thankful that fax machines are starting to go away, except for in certain industries. Thank you for the good conversation, and thank you for the good net, and appreciate all that you're doing. W2DOS from New Jersey.
Well, thank you for coming to us all the way from New Jersey. We welcome anyone from anywhere, and especially those that are not from the area. So awesome. Thanks for sharing that. Yeah, the fax machine. Every now and then, you still get somebody that says, "Can you send a fax?" And I'm like, no. I mean, yes, I can, but I don't want to. It was never a great user-friendly system to begin with, so I could totally understand from your perspective why you want those to go away. I know the machine, the printer at my work, as is, I'm sure, everyone's, always a nuisance. So, yeah, I look forward to a day where we don't have to use those anymore. But very good. All right, that's the bottom of my list. We are approaching the 2-hour mark, so I think we will call it there. However, I'm going to keep the live stream rolling. So I'm going to close the net on the RF side of things. If you want to continue the conversation, I will do a quick shack tour here, and I'll continue chatting with you guys and answer any questions you have. Ron, stick around. I'd love to help you with your quest to get your license. So stick around in the chat, and we'll catch you up to speed on where you can take your test. So, all right. With that, I want to thank Cecil and all the other net controllers and all the tech team and all those behind the scenes. There's so many people that give their valuable time to keep this wonderful system up and running, and it's ever expanding. It's a great place to be, and we have a lot of fun on all the nets. So, with that, I also want to thank the Papa System for allowing me to be the net controller for the Saturday Night Roundtable and letting me take some of these wild ideas that I have and see how they work. So, Don't expect me to top anything here. I think we've reached the limit of what I'm capable of handling as far as buttons and things that I've got to control. So I think we'll have fun with this format for a little while, and we'll call it that. So once again, this is Darren, WD6USN, saying have a great rest of your weekend. And I am now calling this net closed and returning the Papa system back to normal amateur use. If you want to stick around on the live stream, we'll keep that rolling for just a little bit longer. Good night, guys. All right, live stream. Let me catch up here. This has been a blast.
Oscar 6, Alpha Juliet Foxtrot, listening.
Sorry, the RF side is coming over into my ears. All right. So, Aaron, you're up in the Palmdale area. The closest test exam to you will be the Valley Breakfast. That's done in Lulu's. In somebody in chat that will drop in where that location is. But if you look at the website and look for the Valley Breakfast, that's where those tests take place. That would be closest to you. And you want to look at the Quick Start program. That's what the Papa system has for helping you get your license or helping you take the test and providing you with a free radio to get you on the air. So that's where you want to go. And if you want to send me an email, I certainly can get in, give you more guidance. And my email is my call sign, WD6USN@outlook.com. Lulu's is a restaurant where that breakfast takes place, and they do the testing at that location. I don't remember the address of it, but that's where it takes place. So let's exchange emails, and I will help get you a little bit more dialed in to where that takes place. So, with that said, anyone else? I see 21 people still on the live chat. Let me turn my radio off so I can listen to just you guys on the live chat here. All right. Now it's just live chatting. Do you guys want a shack tour here? Jump in the comments real quick if you want a shack tour. And I'll show you how I'm kind of getting all this stuff into the RF. All right, yes. All right, let me grab the camera real quick. All right, so I'm running multiple computers here. I'm running my Mac, which is running a program called Transceive that enables me to get into All-Star, and that's how I'm coming to you on the RF side. I am not using a traditional radio, though I have a traditional radio over there as a backup if All-Star goes down. So All-Star is running on my Mac. I'm also running OBS software, which is a streaming software that you're seeing right there running, and that's what's running the live stream. And all the audio is running through that mixer right there. The microphone that you see is running into that mixer, and that mixer is attached to my Mac, and it's all feeding my audio into the Mac, into All-Star, and coming out through the RF on the mountaintops that you guys are listening to. And that mixer enables me to do a lot of things, including hearing the All-Star traffic from you guys coming back. And that's what's putting your traffic back into the live stream so that you can hear the radio traffic on the radio. Over here is my Windows machine, and I just have my NetScripts up, and I'm keeping an eye on the live stream on YouTube there to make sure things are running. But as you can see, the OBS software has your chat comments right there to the right. as well as the Windows machine. So that's how I'm seeing your chats and keeping up with things and reading those to the RF side for those that are only on RF. Everything else over there is just all my radios and handhelds and things. So that's a quick view of how this is all working. So let me put the camera back up, and then I'll take a look at the comments and answer anything that you have in there. All right. So everyone's saying, yep, Shack Tour, that's everything. That's kind of show us what you got. Yep. Maybe my antenna system. Well, my antenna system is on the roof. So I am not, what you're hearing when I'm talking to you is actually not going through an antenna at all. It's going straight into the internet. And then our repeater systems on the mountaintop is able to get my communication from the internet and sending it out through an RF communication. That's called All-Star, and that's just a voice over IP technology that we employ here with the Papa system. So I am not actually using any RF antenna when I'm running my nets. I have an RF antenna and radio on backup ready to go in case things go down. So Evo says the next exam session at the Valley will be June 14th at 7 a.m. Perfect. I was hoping somebody would jump in there and give AA Ron some guidance. But like I said, AA Ron, send me an email and I will help get you connected if this is something you really want to do. So Cash says, is that a N2MXX Ham Shack dashboard up top? It is not. I'm not sure which dashboard you're looking at. So, up top. That is up there. That is a ham clock. It's running on a Raspberry Pi, and it just has a ton of information of RF conditions and weather conditions and all kinds of things you can do with ham clocks. It's free software out there on the internet. You can download it onto a Raspberry Pi and have it running in your ham shack 24 hours a day if you want. So, I see a Yaesu. Is that a 991A? Eric, yes, that is my FT991A. Kind of my primary ham shack base station. Though in the shadows over there, I've got an Anytone as well. And I just took my D-Star or my ICOM 5100 out of the shack here and put it in one of my vehicles. So I used to have 3 radios here on the table, but I was starting to not need 3 radios. I also have a Motorola, an XTL 5000 coming that will go here in the shack. So I'm slowly moving over to a Motorola guy. So yeah, that's the ham shack, guys. That's how I'm pulling some of this off, and I think we will call it a night there. I've been at it for 2 hours now. It's 10 o'clock. So thank you guys for being on the live stream. Thanks for making this fun and molding these two technologies together. So with that, I'll pause real quick to see if there's any final comments, but I don't see any coming in. I do appreciate you guys, and this is WD6USN signing off from the live stream. So, AA Ron's asking, does anyone have a 7300 for sale? Very popular radio out there. I do not have one for sale, so, but I'm sure you can search the marketplaces out there. So, with that, guys, I am going to close the live stream, and I'll let you watch the transition slide, and we will call it a night. Again, thanks, guys. Have a great rest of your weekend. We'll see you. Well, you won't see me next Saturday because I'll be up in Big Bear, so I will have a fill-in next Saturday, but we'll see you the Saturday after that.